So if you're like me, you've seen the ads for Blue Apron popping up on YouTube and on Facebook and all the social media platforms. So I finally ordered it and wanted to take a full look at what the ordering process is and the price and the instructions. And I'm giving them all to you as a little gift, as so you can see what Blue Apron is like from my perspective. Now, before we get into my full review of this, I just wanted to say right up front that there is a link in the description that is an incredible discount for Blue Apron so that you can order that, try it out for yourself, not pay the sticker price that's on the box, and really get to experience what it's like to order Blue Apron and enjoy the meals. It's like anything else that it's really hard for me to convey in a cooking video about what the instructions are like and what the tastes are like, because my taste might be different than yours. So please, I encourage you to click on that link, get a great discount, order the box, and try it out for yourself, and then come back. Let me know in the comments what you thought of that. But I'm gonna give you my opinion. Again, I'm not a professional chef. I am a husband and a father, and I like messing around in the kitchen and trying out different things. I like a variety of foods, but I know what I like, and I tend to gravitate towards those sorts of things. And what I've been trying to do is just create the most honest and helpful and unbiased review. Blue Apron's not paying me for this. They didn't even send me a box. I paid for it with my own money, and I wanted to just attempt to give you as full and most concise review that I can from somebody that just enjoys cooking and enjoys, eating food. The recipes that I got were the flank steak tacos and the crispy skin salmon. Now, as I sat down to order Blue Apron, there's a great variety of recipes that are on there. And if food is put in front of me, I'll try just about anything. At the same time, I know what I like, and I usually gravitate towards those kind of staple things. But these ones, crispy salmon, we love salmon here in our house, and we cook salmon pretty regularly. And I love all the different kinds of tacos. Sometimes I like a good traditional steak and potato kind of meal, so this was perfect. This was like a nice kind of blend of that. So I'm going to be rating all of the different aspects of this, the price, the instructions, and of course, everyone's favorite, the taste, on a very scientific 4-fork scale. As far as the price goes, I thought it was really fair. Now, one thing that we did and have been doing with these meal kits is we're a family of 3. My wife and myself and our 2-year-old daughter, who actually eats really well for a 2-year-old. She will eat a lot of things or try a lot of things that we put in front of her. Like me, she knows what she likes and kind of tends to gravitate towards her favorite things, but will at least try things and is always very polite about trying and going, yucky. What we typically do with these meal kits, they usually come in 2 or 4 meals, and we usually go to the higher side of that, the 4-serving thing, which is, obviously it costs a little bit more because you're getting more plates. But I feel like you get a greater value from that because, one, you get some leftovers usually, and then everybody can get whatever portion size that they want. We've done the 2 meals before for my wife and myself, and it always feels like I want a little bit more when we split it in half. So the 4 is perfect for us, and then you get leftovers. And I will admit, sometimes I pick recipes based on, that'd be really good to warm up. And both of these were great to have as leftovers. As far as the price goes, especially when you order 4, I feel like it's a pretty good price. It's very fair. I don't want to get into specifics because certainly if you use that discount code, certainly if there's a special going on, certainly depending on how much you're getting, maybe you're only getting the 2 servings, maybe you're only getting 1 meal, maybe you get 4 meals, whatever. Whatever the case is, without getting into the specific, in my mind, I thought the price was very fair. And so I give that 3.5 out of 4 forks because I feel like it went a long way as far as what we were getting. The box arrived, and it's winter here where I'm shooting this, where I live. It was outside for a little bit before I got to it, but everything was packed really well, very well insulated. I will say the one thing about the packaging was the ingredients some of them were divided out and some of them were in separate bags and portions. And obviously salmon went with the salmon dish, steak went with the steak dish, but some of the other ingredients were kind of loose in there. So I really had to sort of look at these cards based on what was in there to divide out the ingredients. Not a terrible thing about the box, but just something worth noting that with 2 meals, I just had to do a little bit of thinking as to which ones get with which, but everything was roll packaged up. And I would say the ingredients were all very fresh and good. And the meat in particular, the steak and also the salmon fillets were really nice cuts of meat. The steak was really juicy and tender and delicious. The salmon was nice, thick fillets, just really, really good cuts of meat. Now on to the instructions. Now this is a typical thing, and this might be a me problem over an issue with their instructions, but they always have these estimated times. Now, I really like the Blue Apron has a kind of a range. So the flank steaks were 40 to 50 minutes, crispy skin tacos were 30 to 40. It's still not a great range, and I would say it took me a little bit longer than that. The flank steak tacos was closer to an hour for me. But that might be a me problem more than the them problem. Usually the prepping of the ingredients is like chopping it all up and that sort of thing is where it gets a little off for me. The other side of that is there's a lot of text within each step. And again, probably more of a me problem, but I got lost in that sometimes. I feel like they like saying, hey, it's only 5 steps. At the same time, it's several steps within each step. So I'd rather it just be listed out that way. But having said that, the actual assembly of the stuff, if you read through this and kind of get your mind wrapped around what it is that you're doing, pretty straightforward. These potatoes, which I'll get into more later, were really good and very straightforward. I thought the potatoes, looking at them, were a little on the small side, but once you chop them up, once you get them in the pan, it was a very sufficient amount. And I feel like there was a lot of steps in here that just made it feel like I was cooking. As strange as that sounds. I say this all the time, but this makes me feel like a chef right here. Garnishing the potatoes with the shallots. Why do I keep saying that? Got some green onions or scallops as scallions as scallops. The scallions, right? Scallions, yes. See, I told you I'm not professional. Sprinkling those on top just made it feel fresh and alive. It was really, really nice. One thing that happened during this one is I got the peppers mixed up. Oh, oops. Wait. There's the peppadew peppers and the poblano peppers. I don't know peppers well, and I got confused. And again, when you're looking at these steps and it just says cut up these peppers and those peppers, there wasn't a picture sort of with it, associated with it, because it was just all of them in one. So I got a little confused. But with that, it wasn't a huge deal because all that really happened was I cut up, now I can't remember which one was which. The poblano peppers, I think I cut up 2 small. Not a huge deal. It was more of a presentation thing than anything else. I always encourage people, read through these instructions. Just like when you were in school, read all the instructions before you start. It'll make things a lot easier. As far as the instructions go, I'm gonna give it 2 out of 4 forks. I don't wanna be too hard on them because again, I have to balance it against what my perception or my skill set is. Something that I wanna do in a future video is get a recipe and really time myself and really do my best to adhere to the time and see if I truly, with my mediocre cooking skill set, can get this done in the amount of time that it is. Because I sort of have the tendency to look at the time limit and go, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more than that, and try to plan ahead for that. The other thing too with both of these was that there was a lot of steps going on at one time, which again, just sort of makes me nervous that I'm gonna mess something up. But the times were really accurate with it. 6 minutes on each side for the steak, perfect. That was absolutely really the right amount of doneness for what I like. So 2 out of 4 forks for the instructions. On to the taste. Again, I sort of ordered recipes that I knew I would like, or at least were in my sort of familiar taste bud range. This dish was the salmon, obviously I like, and they had the farro salad and the zucchinis. I like zucchinis anytime that's added into something that's becoming another favorite staple of mine. Farro I've never really had. It's sort of like a rice kind of consistency. And that's what's really great about these recipes is you can try out things that maybe you wouldn't normally try. Like I wouldn't go to the grocery store and buy farro, but with the fact that you have it as part of the recipe, I was like, salmon sounds good. Sure, farro, sure, I'll try that. And again, discount code in the description to get your own. The steak tacos, really, really delicious, really, really good. And I would say the standout in both of these recipes were these potatoes, which I know is just a side dish, but there was something very simple and delicious about these potatoes with Monterey Jack cheese, baked in the oven. There was a seasoning that was on there. I think it was the Weekend Hero seasoning or something. And it was just such a delicious side and so easy to make. It's something that I will probably hang on to this card and make again. And you can do kind of variations of that, different kinds of seasoning, different kinds of cheese, and super easy, super quick, and a nice variation on just like fried potatoes or French fries or something like that. They were a nice kind of flavorful alternative. So that was really the big standout. The steak tacos were good. Again, maybe a little on the hot side for me with the peppers. So for all those reasons, I give this a 2 out of 4 fork scale. Again, pretty fair rating because there was some real highs with the potatoes and then everything else was just pretty good. Really, really pretty good. And again, maybe because I sort of know these dishes or know this flavor profile or have a preference of how I like my salmon or how I like my steak tacos. So that may have been entering into the equation as well. If you've tried either one of these or one of the other recipes in the Blue Apron menu, please leave a comment in the section below so that you let me know what you thought of the recipes, what you thought of the taste, or if there's a recipe that I should try out myself that you think that I might like. So I would say overall, I would give this a 3 out of 4 fork scale. Really pretty straightforward. I think quote unquote negatives that I have or cons that I have to this kit are very minuscule. So I'm not a very good chef and I have trouble reading instructions. The items were in the box that were like not divided up. Oh no, I had to read the instructions. You know, that sort of thing. But overall, really great experience. Really enjoyed that and really enjoyed just getting to try something else. And I would say this Blue Apron is really great for somebody that is maybe above an amateur in the kitchen. If you have a little bit of knowledge, want to do something a little bit more advanced, try out some new skills, some new recipes. And the other thing is, if you're somebody that's kind of a little more adventurous and like to try a different variety of menu items and are looking for new recipes maybe to try out and maybe feeling stuck in a rut of having the same thing night after night, Blue Apron would be really great for you because they have a great variety in their menu and they're obviously always changing it out all the time. They really have a lot to offer, really great quality, and I really enjoyed it. And I just want to say, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey as we're looking to find the best meal kit service out there. I've reviewed several of them. Check out my channel. You can see all the different cooking up the individual menus, including these ones specifically. There's links on the screen, link in the descriptions. Subscribe to the channel. We've got new videos coming out every week, sharing all my thoughts here in the kitchen, cooking up these new dishes and trying out the new meal kits. Click the link in the description to get a great discount. And I will see you in the kitchen next time we have something cooking up.